My husband Richard died 5 months ago. My son Ethan took it hard. At 9 years old, his father was his life. Rich took him to t-ball practice. They played video games together. Ethan was almost never seen without his father close at hand. When Rich was killed, Ethan didn't eat for days. He almost never left his own room. That is, until the box came out 1 month later. The box was a washing machine box. It was left in the basement for years, from even before Ethan was born. Ethan dragged it upstairs one day. He climbed into it. He seemed happier than he'd ever been. When he came out about 15 minutes later, he asked me if we had any laminate plastic. We spent the rest of the day modifying the box. We made windows with the plastic for glass. We wrote happy phrases all over it. We put a lantern inside. We called it Ethan's cheer-up box. He played in it every day for a few minutes to a few hours. It depended on the mood. Sometimes he'd play until dinner time. Eventually, he started talking about his girlfriend, Susan. He told me he was 12. He was getting ready to go into the 7th grade with Susan. I laughed as he told his day-to-day stories about him and Susan. He told me about his crazy teachers. He told me about his mother and father. I was happy that he was using his imagination to cheer himself up and forget his father, even if only for 15 minutes. When he started going into the box earlier in the day, I thought nothing of it. That is, until he started not leaving the box at all. One day he came into my room in the morning. He gave me a kiss. He went downstairs to play in the box. He didn't come out for breakfast or lunch. He explained he and Susan had already eaten, so I slid a plate in each time, both times coming out half-eaten. Him again explaining, more angrily this time, that he had already eaten. I forced him to come out for dinner, then left him in the box for the night. When I woke up the next day, he had sealed the box shut with tape using the front window, carefully taken out to seal it both from the inside and outside. I decided he would come out for food. I left him. He didn't come out, though. When I went near one day, I could hear him happily mumbling to himself. He was talking about dates and prices of local restaurants, none of which I'd ever heard of. A week later, I heard him mumbling about the cost of wedding rings. It was a perfect place to propose. The next, I heard him exclaim, "Golly, Susie, your belly is big already." By this time, I was extremely worried since he hadn't come out for food. I had removed a window. I had placed sandwiches inside. I did that for a while until I realized he hadn't started getting skinnier from not eating. I called the doctor, explaining everything. But he hung up saying to not call his jokes, Ms. Ames. Next, I tried 911, but was hung up on. I broke down, leaning against Ethan's cheer-up box and sobbing, begging him to come out. He only said, "No, Susan, is that Nathan crying? I swear I hear someone crying somewhere." I cried for hours. Before falling asleep against the box, I started staying near the box, only getting up to eat and use the bathroom. This continued for about a month more, listening to Ethan's mumblings. I realized his little life had slowed down considerably, seeing as how now it took almost 6 days for his 3rd child to be born, whereas before he first started dating and proposed to Susan within 2 days. One day I woke up from sleep at about 4 a.m. and didn't hear Ethan mumbling. I peeked inside to see him slumped over. At first I assumed he was asleep, until I realized he wasn't breathing. I broke open the box. I grabbed him, his eyes glazed over. I stared in disbelief. Why was he dead? My first thought was his in-box persona had died, but that seemed too silly to be true. I called 911, screaming that my son was dead. The operator told me to